Hello and welcome to the presentation of Aqua Development, AD for short. I will start by introducing the team, the co-founding team, the technology, then we will move on to our current and upcoming projects in Korea, and we will finish with our global expansion. So the co-founding team is composed of three co-founders, Dr. Glenn Cho, our CTO, who spent over 20 years of his life in applied research and development in aquaculture. Our CEO, Lee Do-hyun, and myself, the COO, we come from a dual background, including engineering and business, both in our education and in our experience. And as you may have guessed, our startup revolves around shrimp aquaculture. And the past 6 years, we have tested and successfully implemented our own aquaculture system for shrimp in Korea, achieving outstanding results by industry standards, producing high quality shrimp using zero antibiotics, zero chemicals, zero water exchange, at the same time reaching very high productivity and profitability rates. And our goal is to become one of the leading companies in the sustainable seafood production in the world. Aside from the high productivity and high profitability, we are proud also to mention that we are in line with several of the sustainable development goals by the United Nations. And this combination of sustainability and profitability has earned us the trust of Korea's largest impact investment fund, D3, which invested $850,000 in equity funding in our company last year. Moving on now to our technology, KamiSys. KamiSys is short for Korean Aqua Mimicry System. Aqua Mimicry means mimicking or reproducing natural environment and ecosystem inside the aquaculture system. KamiSys is our own version of Aqua Mimicry, and we took it up a notch with a complete comprehensive system that includes design, feed technology, and management protocols. Our optimized farm design is our own and currently under patenting process, along with other technical elements. With our own also feed and additive technology and our own management protocols, we've been able to optimize the production rates and the biosecurity of the farm. And as we mentioned, in the past 6 years, we've been able to successfully implement this system in Korea and achieve exceptional results by the industry standards, producing high quality shrimps using zero antibiotics, zero chemicals, zero water exchange. At the same time, having productivity rates that are 4 times to 20 times higher than the most common methodologies practiced here in Korea and elsewhere around the world. To have a more detailed comparison between our technology and the most common practice technologies in the world out there, we asked the question what it would take to produce 100 tons of shrimp per year using our system, KamiSys, versus using Biofloc and RAS, which are two of the most common super intensive production methodologies in the industry, and traditional system. So using our system to produce 100 tons of shrimp per year, you would need 1 hectare of land, you would need $1.5 million roughly in initial investment, and the production cost would be around $4 to $5 per kilogram here in Korea. In other countries it may differ. And comparing with Biofloc and RAS, you'd need 3 times more surface, you'd need 2 to 5 times higher initial investment, and the production cost would be 2 to 4 times higher than ours. Using the traditional system, you'd have similar production costs, you'd have similar initial investment, but you'd need 10 times more surface, and the production would be subject to seasonality because of the weather changes. So you cannot produce all year round, and because of the large surface, it's not suitable for urban farming. So moving on now to our upcoming projects in Korea. Korea is a very special market with 80,000 tons of shrimp consumed per year in Korea. It's one of the largest consumer countries of shrimp and one of the largest importers. And what's interesting here is that Korea produces only 6% of its needs. And the domestic production is pretty fragmented with an average of 10 tons per farm produced every year. So we have a situation of a country that has a very high appetite of shrimp, that has a very high purchasing power, at the same time a very a pretty weak domestic competition, which leaves room for a main player to take up the market, and we intend to be that player. Thanks to the success of our prototype in the past 6 years here in Korea and to the investment of D3, we're currently working on scaling up our production with a new farm that we're currently building in south of South Korea with the target production rates of 100 tons per year. And in the past 6 years, we've been working not only on the production and technology sides, but it's important also, we've been working on the market strategy, on the distribution channels, and we've been able to sell through high-end retailers such as Hyundai department stores, through market builders such as Lotte Mart, and through e-commerce platforms such as Ideas. And we're currently working on expanding our partnerships throughout all of these segments. So in the past few years, actually, we've been able to leverage the fact that we use zero antibiotics, zero chemicals in order to sell at a much higher price than the average market price. We've been able to sell at least 30% higher than the average market price, even in wholesale prices. And we intend to keep this positioning by acquiring national and international certifications such as the ASC. And we're also working now on establishing a full traceability system from farm to table. In order to strengthen our position in the future as a sustainable seafood leader in the seafood producer in the industry, we are also working on setting up or on developing 2 more pillars in our company. Aside from Camisys, which is the production technology, we're also working on 2 cloud-based platforms, CamiOne and CamiVal. CamiOne is a smart farm management platform with an AI layer that helps automate and optimize most of the farming operations. CamiVal, on the other hand, is more of a networking platform, cloud-based networking platform that would link the vetted and trusted, sustainable players in the seafood industry, both from the supply side as well as from the marketing and distribution side. And in the near future, we intend also to diversify our income stream and income business model. So we're currently working on the product. So we're producing and selling high quality shrimp. We also intend to leverage our know-how and technology in the form of franchising business model or in the form of building joint ventures and partnerships with potential partners. And we intend also to leverage CamiOne and CamiVal in the form of service and management offers. So in our upcoming 7 years plan is this. We intend to have our initial large-scale farm in Korea ready by the end of this year, followed by a first expansion within 2 to 3 years to become the largest producer in Korea, along with a establishment of other few farms in outside of Korea, followed by a large expansion and standardization within 5 years across our farms in Korea and globally. And we have an objective of an IPO by the end of 2027. So this is our financial forecast. It looks pretty good with 104% of IRR and $40 million in NPV. But what's most important here is that this forecast is not built on theoretical assumptions. It's built on real data that we got from the market and from our few years of practice. And it's pretty realistic and it's actually pretty conservative because here we assumed a much lower sales price than what we usually sell for. So we are pretty confident that we can achieve hopefully better figures than what are here. So aside from the Korean operations, we have been also working on our global expansions. We've already established our branch in the MENA region in Tunisia, AD MENA, with 3 upcoming projects in Algeria and Tunisia. We're also in discussion with other potential partners in other countries such as China, Indonesia, Mongolia, and Europe to establish new farms and production sites there. This is mostly it. Thank you very much for your attention. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions or any of your inquiries. Thank you.